Hello, everyone, and welcome. New song from Sheryl Crow just came out today, apparently, or this week. I'm a huge Sheryl Crow fan. I had no idea actually that she had a new song out. So, Circles, it's called. All right. We're gonna get my regular playlist on. Abundance. Okay. The playlist that I always listen to on Wednesdays is called Just Being Abundant AF. I got this playlist from my friend and an amazing coach on social media, Shauna Van Bogart. You should follow her on Spotify. She's pretty great. So, all right. This is where I usually start on Wednesdays. It's like, all right. So we're here. It's Curious Business. We're going to be talking about, I see that I have a title, but whatever. Well, it is Curious Business today. The title, however, is going to be about the client that I fired and what happened. So, first of all, we're going to enjoy some delicious cannabis out of my pack. If you've never used a PAX 3 before, I really recommend this as a dry herb vaporizer. I don't use dry herb vaporizers that often, but what I love them for is the fact that they're really discreet, but you can still use flower, so there's no combustion and there's really not a lot of smell. This my PAX 3. I've had it for almost like 4 years already. I got it. It has my name engraved and this like awesome butterfly on the front. And so the way it works is there's a bowl on the bottom, and you fill that up with flour, and you replace the little bottom piece, which is magnetic, and then you touch the top, and it makes colors. You see that? And now it's warming up. And as soon as it's ready, it's going to turn green. So let's wait for it to turn green. I can already smell it heating up. I can smell it and I can feel it. It's ready. See green? It went and it hit green. So now you just hit it like this. It tastes so good. When you smoke out or when you consume out of one of these dry herb vaporizers, you really, really get to taste the flower. And that's one of the things I love most about it. So I'm really glad I pulled this out. What's up, Cannabis on the Couch? Dry flower vape is your go-to way to consume. Well, do you have this device? What device do you have? I mean, I think this tastes so good. Like I'm dying. The number one device, in my opinion, is the Volcano. If you get the Volcano, that's it. That's the top of the line. But like not everyone wants like a Volcano for their countertop. You know what I'm saying? This is very, very portable and it works. It does the trick. You have a Da Vinci, another one. PX something. Love it. Well, cool. As long as they work for you, right? it works great. And it makes the terps taste so good. It just makes the flower taste amazing. Good cough going. Right. You're still in the closet, so it's super discreet. Absolutely. Okay. So let's talk about these. These are like my cheap gummies. Okay. These gummies are like, I think like $12 for 100 milligrams, which is extremely, extremely inexpensive, right? So I usually buy these, you know, just for some mentation to my other expensive stuff. But this is all I have right now. Pretty much left. We're down to the nitty gritty. I got to go shopping. So do you think that? Oh, these are both sativa. So I was gonna say I thought one was sativa and one was indica, whatever that whatever exactly that means. And but no, they're both sativa. But anyway, so should I have? So I think that I'm gonna have one strawberry and one sour apple because there's one sour apple left. Hello, Miss Crystal. So there's one sour apple left. And so we're going to have that one. So this is so stuck in there. It looks like I got this on my trip. Oh my God, look at this. But like waste not, want not, man, right? I mean, come on. Mmm. Mmm. Oh, thank you for saying you love the makeup. Just like a little gold. Sour apple is like totally one of my favorites. And we're also going to have strawberry. So each one of these is 10. This would be close to $35 near you. $35 here gets you top of the line edibles. The top of the line edibles here for $35. So bring your money when you come, honey. All right. So Crystal, I'm smoking out of my PAX 3. I haven't done this in so long. But I have to say, I really love it. It tastes so good. You get the real terps. The only thing that's weird about the dry herb vaporizers, and maybe Cannabis on the Couch, you can tell me more about this from your experience. My experience is that I never know when it's done. Like if I smoke a bowl with combustion, when it's done, it's done. With this, you're like, is it done? How do you know when it's done? I mean, it's not done. It's obviously not done. Yeah, I have a PAX. This PAX has a really funny story. I got it like when I first started getting into the cannabis industry. I was so excited about it, and I still am. And Kristen Yoder borrowed it from me when we were at MJ BizCon in 2019. And she took it with her to, she borrowed it. Like we were together, but she was like, can I just borrow that? And I'll just keep it and I'll just give it to you after this interview. She was going to do like a podcast. So later on that night, I'm like, hey, can I have my PAX 3 back? She's like, oh, dude, I think I left it there. So 2 days later, or maybe even that night, I get like a DM on Instagram. I found your PAX 3 because, hi, curious. I found your PAX 3. Shoot me your mailing address. I'll send it back to you at home. So I was able to get it back home in one piece, safe, and it's pretty amazing. I guess if you brand your stuff one of a kind, right? Nobody else was really going to want to smoke out of this. I'd be like, yeah, I found this somewhere. I don't know whose it is at all. It just happens to say whose it is on the back. Okay, so Cannabis on the Couch says when it tastes like a burnt marshmallow or no cloud. You also save the already vaped cannabis. You heard you can make edibles with it. Haven't tried that yet. You can make tea with it also, which is easier than edibles because it's already, what's the word? Combusted. That's not the right word. It's what C. Decarbed. It's already decarboxylated. Thank you, Cannabis on the Couch. Debox. Decarboxylated. Exactly. Such a big word. It means already, used up, heated. You call your dry herb vape your juice box? Oh my God, I love that. That's so good. It's my juice box. The dry herb vape is excellent for on the go, right? You can go on a hike. You could just take it for a walk with your dog. Um, you're not burning anything. You're not bothering anybody. You're not like lighting the forest on fire. It's a really great way to have a bowl, have flour when you're on the go. Yours looks like a juice box. That's really funny. It's one. I don't know what this looks like. A dildo, I guess, a battery, a phone. Like, remember when phones used to look like this? Hello. Remember when we had those like little like Motorola phones? Hello. Okay. Mrs. Green saves all of her ABV and she makes a salve and such. And I think that's a great idea. Like, all right, so I had a lot of hits. I mean, it feels like it should be kicked, but I think it's still pretty green. I mean, what do you guys think? What do you guys think? I'm going to keep going for a few more. Yes, we all have so much to learn. That's the beauty of cannabis, right? We all have so much to learn. There's nobody who's like ahead or behind. We all have so much to learn, and the best way to learn is by trying. Yeah, I have plenty. There's like plenty left in here. Like it's very enjoyable. It's very enjoyable because like I'm having the best time with it. I just had my edibles. All right, I'm gonna set it down. I'm just gonna turn it off. All you have to do to turn it off, by the way, is just like push the top. This is a very, very cool device. Very sleek. Good job, PAX. This is developed like 4 or 5 years ago. Still the number one in my opinion. Really, really well done. Okay, let's have a drink of water. And let's get into today's show. So, if you joined me last week, or if you saw my LinkedIn post from last week on Friday, which I think I'll share. Let's say, Oh my gosh, so amazing. So somebody shared it, which is pretty dope. Um, I'm just trying to get to like the original post. Um, there we go. All right, now I'm going to share my screen. All right. So last week, I posted this post. Here's an email I had to send today. Your rude emails to me and your team and our subsequent phone call at me, pointed accusations at me, barked an order at me, and finally hung up on me was toxic bullying and completely unacceptable. Based on this and many other leadership red flags I've ignored over the past 6 weeks, I will no longer be working for your company. Rest of the LinkedIn post, right? Luckily, I'm a contractor now, so I can walk away. Before I left my big career 4 years ago, I could not do this. I could never speak truth to power. Capitalism forces you to trade your soul and mental health for money. Be a good girl and do what the client says. If they treat you like shit, just take it. They might be assholes, but at least they're assholes to pay you. I grew a thick skin. When clients would lie, throw me under the bus, and say evil things while looking in my eyes, I would take it. I would get a mental image of my children who relied on me to support them, and I would take it. Since leaving that toxic hierarchy and patriarchy, I've intentionally thinned my skin. Now I'm able to control how I spend my time and who I spend it with. I want to say that the fact that I can't take this kind of bullying anymore makes me know that I am no longer cut out for the corporate life. I can't suck it up anymore. And that sucks because money is nice. Kristen Yoder told me to listen to my gut and not take this first project. The first project I did for this company, but it helped me pay some bills. My son had to have a tooth implant. Perry Hedrick, thanks for making it okay to talk about the no assholes policy and actually sticking to it. So this post now has 9,600 impressions. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but 9,590 people have seen this post in the feed, which is a huge number for me. It has 146 reactions, 35 comments, and one share that happened today. 209 people who saw it are founders, 131 co-founders, chief executive officers 110, owner 105, president 77. Some pretty impressive people at companies like my old company that I used to work for, Ketchum, Green Thumb Industries, Cresco Labs, heard of them? Organon, which is one of my good friends, former colleagues, actually works there, and I've become followed by many of her people, and Amazon. 15 people at Amazon, bitches. That's not nothing. So obviously, this post really struck a chord with people. Why is that? Well, because everyone has wanted to say fuck you to someone and tell them to go pound sand, as they say. Everyone has had somebody be really, really mean to them at work, and they've just had to suck it up and they've just had to take it. But this time, I decided not to take it. The first time, really. I was thinking about it, and I did fire another client last year. Remember the weight loss client that we worked on, Crystal, and that whole thing. But this is the first time that I really I stood my ground, especially to a man. And it felt good and really scary. And let me tell you why it was really scary. We as a company and we as a family have been living above our means, and it has been stressful for us, and it is time for me to contribute to the family again. And, this was a great opportunity for me to be able to bring in some cash and work on something that I was really excited about. So I ignored some of the red flags that happened between me and this person. And ultimately, when he hung up on me and yelled at me about something that was completely not my fault, and it was a complete misunderstanding, and he lost his mind, I was like, no, especially after I spoke to somebody on his team, very clear that this was not the first time this person has, let's just say, lost it inappropriately with someone. And so I decided, no, I'm leaving, not doing this anymore. So I sent a note, and his response was like, I'm so sorry. No, I'm terribly sorry that my actions caused so, crossed a boundary for you. Excuse me? You're sorry that your actions crossed my boundary? No. You need to be sorry that you treated me inappropriately and you hung up on me, and you need to tell me that that was inappropriate behavior and apologize for that behavior. Otherwise, no. In this email, he told me that he was going to be doing some reflection on all the things that I said. So on Saturday, he sent me an email saying that he went through all of our email exchanges and all of the conversations that we have had, and he really couldn't find any red flags. And so he just wanted to say that, he doesn't know what I'm talking about. And he actually sounded like he wanted to know. So I wrote him back and I told him the red flags that happened. So I think I'll read you guys the email just because I don't want to, I think it was really good, but I don't want you to see anything, so I can't share it on the screen. So let me read you the emails. Let me just see if you guys are talking to me. Hello. Cannabis on the couch has to leave. Goodbye. Hello, Dan. Narcissist not taking responsibility, therefore not sorry whatsoever. Mrs. Green says, Dan, you're right about that. Crystal says, you're right about that. All right, so let me just, I'm going to bring up my email so I can, okay. So I'm going to read you the actual first email that I got, just so that you guys can just get your own opinion, right? Because I don't want you to, just take it from me, all right? Lauren, I sincerely apologize that my behavior was so upsetting to you. I am also upset to hear that there were many other red flags you did not bring to my attention and that you feel bullied by me. I truly appreciate the feedback and will definitely process it and try to learn from it. I'm sorry we will not be working together anymore. I was hoping that the bumps would settle themselves, but clearly I overstepped your boundaries, and for that I sincerely apologize. You apologize for overstepping my boundaries? My best wishes to you for continued success. You are a talented and passionate professional, and this is certainly our loss. All right. Anyone? Thoughts? Anyone? Oh, I have a chat up here. Oh, I didn't know that was a song, a Post Malone cover song. To the person who just let me know that. Thank you. And sorry I missed. Sometimes it doesn't show me that people are on. Okay. Um okay. So on Saturday, he sent me, I did not respond. Okay, just to be clear, I did not respond to that. No. Hi Lauren. In my email to you, I said that I was going to process your note and try to learn from our interaction and my behavior. I've been thinking about it quite a bit and wanted to at least share my thoughts and the remorse I feel as a result of my behavior. It does not take a rocket scientist to understand that my actions the other day were toxic, and there is no excuse for toxic behavior under any circumstances, period. Growth. I'm sorry I acted in the manner that I did and put you in a position to have to make the choices and write that email. My behavior was unacceptable. I think the hardest part, I was in bad headspace that day. I was dealing with something that was highly toxic myself, and I had no business engaging anyone in my state of mind. I should have disengaged until I was able to control myself in a respectable manner. I have been a victim of intense emotional and verbal abuse in the past, and that makes it even more inexcusable that I would do what I did to you. I think the hardest part for me was the part I asserted in my previous email, that there were many red flags prior to that interaction, and the notion that this behavior is somehow systemic for me. I know we had some differences of opinion on things, but I thought they were resolved in a professional way, and that was clearly not the case. Nothing in my mind rose to the level of disrespect or inappropriate. I've gone back through our interactions in my mind and the ones in email, and I'm having a hard time understanding what those red flags were and why you didn't engage me in a conversation. If you were uncomfortable, why would you have continued to work with me if you felt that way without the benefit of some discussion that could have opened my eyes to the disrespect I was exhibiting? Not that it was your responsibility to do so, but it would have been helpful for me to know that I was making you uncomfortable if you felt that way. In any event, I wanted to let you know that my comment about reflecting on your feedback was not hollow, and that I have taken the time to accept my behavior as toxic and to take steps to be more aware of my emotions and communicate in a more human way going forward, and as much as I can, given the absence of additional feedback from the totality of our interactions. Clearly, my blow up is an easy thing to see. It's the other stuff that will keep my mind going and questioning how I interact going forward. And maybe not knowing what they are is a good thing in that regard. In either case, thank you for having the courage to confront me and to draw your line in the sand. Nobody ever wants to be a victim or an aggressor, but I can at least assure you that your strength has forced me to take stock of how to be a better person. And at least in this one instance, maybe some good will come from the bad. I hope you have an enjoyable weekend, and perhaps our paths will cross again under more enjoyable circumstances. I appreciate the work you did and the opportunity I had to engage your passion and creativity. Okay, so what do you guys think? What do you guys think? Thoughts? 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 Hold on. There's more. I just want to tell you that there's more. Okay. Um, because I just wanted to see what you guys thought for that, because there's more. So, like, given that he kind of pretty much was asking for the feedback, right? I gave it to him. So, um, I said, I appreciate this note. Leaders create the weather on their teams. After you hung up on me, I spoke to someone on your team, and within 5 minutes, I was subtly able to ascertain that your behavior with me was not an isolated incident, but a way of being. It became clear that speaking truth to power in your organization isn't safe, and I'm not interested in putting my energy into politics. The red flags are not things that you'd read in our email exchanges. They're flags about how you do business. The first day we were supposed to be working together, you sent me a text that said, "Hey, are you taking time off?" What? Who starts by putting somebody on the back foot and saying, "Are you taking time off?" Why would you ask me that? I was already doing something wrong before we started working together, but zero expectations were set and you hadn't reached out to me. 2, you told me we'd have multiple new projects if I cut my rates on this one. I gave you multiple templates to build that business, but the pipeline is dry. Then you kept 50% of what turned out to be the client's entire budget for this project, even though that's whatever. I'm not going to go into the whole thing. When I would send you an email with the work we discussed, your response back would be something like, "Looks decent." We're about to present something to your client and you're like, "Looks decent." It's the most non-committal. We're not partners. I'm letting you know that I'm not in this with you at all because it looks decent. So if the client doesn't like it, I'll throw you right under the bus. Also, the way that this specific day was managed was unprofessional, and he promised the client multiple things within costs that were not agreed upon, moving the goalposts without consulting me. I told him he asked me why I kept doing the work. I said I kept doing the work for a few reasons. 1, my family could really use the cash right now, which is the reason why no one speaks truth to power. Because power is money, and we're afraid that if we tell the people with money how we feel, that they will take the money away. So it's unrealistic to ask anyone in your organization to be able to be safe to speak truth to power to you unless you do not pay them. Because nobody wants to get fired. 2, I knew I'd be good at it and I could learn a new skill. 3, the work was in the cannabis industry and I'm interested in it. And 4, I've worked with men who treat people with microaggressions for 20 years and I thought I could handle it. But after 20 years, it's too much. I also wish you the best. My advice to you would be to hire a coach, preferably a woman. Read Simon Sinek, Leaders Eat Last. The work you need to do is based on privilege that's not really your fault, but recognizing it is the first step to different behaviors. Your culture is one of fear, and no one is comfortable speaking truth to power. It's old school, and you have the power to change it. Please don't respond defending your actions. I wrote this out so you'd have something to think about. So he wrote, anybody want to say anything? Thoughts? Let me check my Google Chrome over here. That person either had, you're right. He had a quick change of response to his actions. Wow, I totally agree. It doesn't sound like he wrote it. I think he did. Just knowing him, I think he did. So he wrote, thank you, Lauren. I appreciate the response and the time you have taken to do more than just fire me. I can assure you that my purpose in seeking your feedback was not so that I can defend myself or my actions. I am sincerely interested in understanding how I impact the people in my world and their perceptions of me. I can also assure you that my intentions do not match those perceptions, but I clearly have got a long way to go in making my own reality meet that of the people I engage. I know that you have zero obligations to engage with me, so the fact that you chose to do so, especially on a Sunday, is exceptional and a clear indication that you are sincere and in your desire to teach those who are willing to learn. Some people are just interested in being angry. It seems you're more interested in effectuating change than just being right. I think that's pretty cool. I put you in a position to walk away from a project that you wanted and needed and deprived my company and the client of a valuable resource in the process. I'm truly sorry for the damage I've caused, and I'm committed to spending time looking at myself and my actions and my goals so that I can do better going forward. I wish I could change the past, don't we all? Your work is excellent, and I'm sorry for all of us that I ruined your opportunity to finish that task. Thank you again for the life lessons and honesty, as well as going above and beyond to share your truth with me. I can assure you it will not be in vain. I will let you get on with your life, but I truly thank you for impacting mine. Be well. So, like, I mean, it's pretty hard to hate the guy. And I got to tell you, I don't. And, I'm really glad that it happened in a way, as fucking incredibly hard as it was to do. All of it. All of it. But I do want to give this person a lot of credit because he obviously did some soul searching, and I hope that it will make change. And the whole reason why I decided to make this LinkedIn post, and for the reason why I do everything, is so that I hope that I can help someone. Someone else maybe fires their clients. Someone else maybe acts nicer to people, right? That's why I do it. I don't do it out of spite. I do it to help people. And I think this actually helped people. So, it does feel like I made an impact, and that feels pretty amazing. So, congratulations to him for the growth, and congratulations to me for the strength and the courage, Anyway, and what ended up happening is, based on the LinkedIn post, I had an amazing conversation with a guy who I'm hoping that we're going to end up doing some work with. And the client who we had been working with on the side of the business that I ended up firing still wants to work with me. And actually, this person at who I fired actually told them specifically, like, to work with me. Like, he was, so I actually think he's remorseful. And I actually think that he wants to change. And I hope that this helps other people in his organization. And I hope that it helps other investors whose companies he invests in. And I hope that he's, it's the kind of thing that makes him feel like, wow, I have a blind spot. And I'm really grateful that someone pointed it out to me. And that's actually what it sounds like he's saying, right? So, yeah, if he truly is wanting to learn and change, then that's amazing. It takes a lot to recognize what his actions caused. Exactly. And I mean, this is a person that's a CEO and an investor out of it, he backs cannabis companies. Like, who's going to tell him to go pound sand? Like, who's going to do that? Oh, take your millions of dollars and go elsewhere. No one. Zero people. But we're not talking about millions of dollars. We were talking about thousands of dollars. And it wasn't enough to continue to allow him to treat me poorly or to make me feel like I have to, like, suck it up with him, Mrs. Green, I actually do think that no one in his entire career has told him such things. I actually do think that. I really do. And that is insane, right? This, ladies and gentlemen, is white, male, especially rich, privilege. That is what this is. The privilege that no one tells you that you're an asshole. Zero people have the guts to tell you you're an asshole because you are paying them. He's older. He's older than me. I don't think, like, he's probably like around 60 is my guess. Sorry if you're not and you watch this. Like, that'll probably be the thing he's like most mad about. Like, she thought I was 60. Like, I got the vibe that he was like older than my husband. This is a person who definitely went to, a top-notch school, that probably has a business degree, meaning like an MBA. When you get an MBA, you're kind of like in a club, right? You're now in like this echelon of people who manage money. That's really what you are. So he's a CEO of a like a VC fund. His company is called Blank, and the last word is capital. So that's what he does. He raises capital. Definitely over 50. Definitely older than me. Definitely in his 50s. Definitely in his mid to late 50s, let's just say. All right? Mid to late 50s. So what do you guys think? I think the bottom line is change has been made. I can't say that it felt good, but change was made. And it also is having positive business outcomes for me. So I think generally, even though it was really sucky, it worked out. So what do you guys think? You're smoking your juice box with me? L'chaim! So Mrs. Green and Dan, you guys going to be around on Sunday? On Sunday, Cooking with Kush show is going to be doing a yoga and meditation and journaling session on their rooftops. That's going to be really awesome. Can't wait. Also, hello, I'm coming to Michigan, and we're going to be a media sponsor of the Saturnalia Carnival Festival, which is going to be at the Mercy Arena in Muskegon, Michigan. And I will be there on August 20th all day. I'm going to be hanging out with the Babes and Buds podcast crew, and we're going to be bringing you guys live to Muskegon to see, I think, the world's first 21 plus cannabis carnival. So smoke to that. I try to be a good human. Thank you so much for saying that, Mrs. Green. I do the best I can. Um, so you think Dan says he thinks the universe took a bump to the positive side. Growth is often painful. Kudos for being the one to finally approach what has been a long time coming. Right? It's like what Mrs. Green says. It really sounds like literally no one, zero people have ever said you're an asshole. Except for probably like his ex-wife or something like that, right? I don't even know if he has an ex-wife, by the way. I have no idea. Yes, doesn't Sunday sound so good? So it's at, hold on. I think it starts at 4 o'clock Sunday, 3 p.m. Central. Okay, 3 p.m. Central means 3 p.m. Central. Three p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Mountain, 4 p.m. Eastern. You guys get me. Okay? Sunday with Cooking with Kush. So 3 o'clock Central, same as Cooking with Kush because they're in Chicago. I hate when you have to do the maths. Change the game, don't let the game change you. I'll forever remain faithful, stay true, and I said, make the money, don't let the money make you change the game. Oh, it's time for an amen song. Do you think this is it? I feel like it's more like, honestly, based on the rest of the shit that's happened to me this week, because that's been personal and not appropriate for this particular show. Not to say that's not appropriate for my community, because I've already shared a lot of it with my community, but oh my God. So an amen song. This one? How about this one? Oh, that one? There was a secret chord that David played, and it pleased the Lord. But you don't really care for music, do you? It goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah. This one. Thank you. I've cussed on a Sunday, I've cheated and I've lied, I've fallen down from grace and lived too many times. But I find holy redemption when I put the car in drive, put the windows down, turn up the drive. Can I get a hallelujah? Can I get an amen? Feels like the Holy Ghost running through you. When I play the Highway FM, I'll find my soul revival, singing every single verse. Yeah, I guess that's my church. When Hank brings the sermon, the cash plays the choir, it gets my cold heart burning hotter than a ring of fire. When this wonderful world gets heavy and I need to find my escape, I just keep the wheels rolling, radio scrolling, till my sins washed away. Can I get a hallelujah?